Hey guys, it's Paul Trimmer here from the Paul Trimmer Real Estate Agency, and today we're on our neighborhood and real estate tour talking about, I'm going to talk about 4 different neighborhoods. I'm lumping them all in together because they're very similar, and we'll talk about why. I'm located behind the romantic zone, so you can see behind me here this river, River Cuale. If you go from the ocean in the romantic zone east, basically inland, you're going to come to a bridge. You're going to cross the bridge, and then the neighborhood directly behind, on the left side is El Caloso, on the right side is Las Canoas. And then one moment. And so there's those 2 neighborhoods right behind the romantic zone. And then you've got El Remance, which is just back over here. And then behind that is Buenos Aires neighborhood. The reason they're all very similar is they're kind of these sorts of houses. Lovely, cute Mexican properties. And I'm not going to say they're in that traditional Puerto Vallarta style with the tiled roofs and things like that, the very conscious chinas look. They're not that. They are, they're traditional working class Mexican family neighborhoods. And but what's nice is there's not a lot of condo developments back here. So they're mostly houses. And over the years, some expats have moved in here and bought a house and renovated it. So that's part of the neighborhood, but there's also just lovely Mexican families and their children and grandparents living back here. So it's a very relaxed neighborhood. But why they're great neighborhoods is they're an easy walk into all the activity of the romantic zone, the beach clubs, the restaurants, the cafes, etc. Tourist activities. But they're back in quieter neighborhoods. Now when I say quieter, I mean there's no nightclubs next door. There's roosters and there's the natural noises of a typical Mexican neighborhood, but you haven't got the nightclubs and the tourists and things like that. So why would you come to these neighborhoods? If you want to be close to the romantic zone, but you want your own little house. Now you're not going to get a backyard necessarily. You're going to get the cute little houses, things like this, for the $450,000 to $550,000, maybe $400,000, all depending, because they're all unique. Some are little, some are bigger, some are renovated, some are very rough and untouched. So the prices change depending on the property. But, you can get a cute little house back here. And you don't have to be a part of an HOA. You can have your own house. And there's generally no house parking. It's street parking. But, you don't really need a car if you're living here, because you are very walkable to the Emiliano Zapata market. Everything is walkable. So that's what these neighborhoods are kind of about. They're nice, fun, friendly neighborhoods. You're right by this river, River Cuale River, super beautiful. You got the mountains all the way around, up in the hills. So yeah, that's what this neighborhood is. There is in El Caloso, there's 2 buildings, Oasis River Cuale and River Cuale. They're big condo buildings. Mostly expats live in them. So that's, an anomaly in the neighborhood. So there are those buildings, but otherwise there's really not many condo buildings back here. There's Cacti is a new building that's coming, a smallish boutique building. But otherwise, it's mostly these types of houses. In Remance, there's a Remance condo building in El Remance. But generally, I'm going to say it's all these types of houses here, all through the neighborhood. And there's a lovely Mexican flavor to the streets. You can see it's still cobblestones. There's a great restaurant, La Fina, De Cortez, a few places for breakfast. The other thing is these neighborhoods they're going to continue to be up and coming because, you know, as the romantic zone grows, as more people go there, it spreads. And so these neighborhoods back around the edge of the romantic zone are becoming more and more popular. And you can get a house. You know, the romantic zone, you can only get a condo. And for what you pay for a 1-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo in the romantic zone, you get a little mini house back here. So that's one of the draw cards as well. This is a super beautiful setting to be near the river. So what do you think? 4 very cool, interesting neighborhoods. It's not for everyone, doesn't suit everyone, but it suits some people that are looking for a neighborhood with a little more Mexican culture. You get your own house. You want to get it's for people that want to get more amongst it, you know. There's neighborhoods like the Marina that's really more lacking the Mexican feel, and it's more Americanized, it's more manicured and landscaped. You've got neighborhoods like this that really feels like you're in Mexico, living amongst the vibe of Mexico, you know. So that's for these neighborhoods are for those sorts of people. And and you get to, you know, live close to the romantic zone. You have all the good stuff about the romantic zone, but not be right in it. If you're looking for rental properties, you know, I think the neighborhoods are still these neighborhoods are still up and coming. So I would not say they're the most highly demand short-term vacation rental locations, because not all tourists would feel comfortable back here. But if you're living here and spending much more time here, or you're here for the season, then these neighborhoods could suit you really well. So that's that. Now, any questions about these neighborhoods, please feel free to get in contact with me, or any of the neighborhoods we talk about in this series of videos. Feel free to get in contact and chat more about them, or if you have questions about them, I'm always happy to talk about that. If one of my, I think one of my strengths as an agent here, if you tell me your goals, tell me the lifestyle you're looking for, tell me the budget you're working with, I can very quickly point you in the right direction of neighborhoods that you should be focusing in on. Because like I've mentioned, all the neighborhoods have are very different. They offer very different real estate, price brackets, and amenities, and pros and cons. So any questions, get in contact with me. I'm always here to help. Bye.